So yeah, if you're an Aces fan, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all if you're a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, because it is looking like Kelsey Plum is probably going to be gone.
Kelsey Plum's contract standoff has the Las Vegas Aces on edge, leaving MVP A'ja Wilson vulnerable as free agency looms. Meanwhile, rising phenom Caitlin Clark is poised to seize the moment, stepping into the spotlight and challenging Wilson's throne. Is the WNBA's reigning dynasty about to face its downfall?
What's been a little surprising, and I think why there's so much conversation, at least from what I'm seeing, about Kelsey Plum is that during the season when the rest of the core Aces, the other, they're the core four, A'ja, Chelsea, Jackie Young, and Kelsey Plum. So when her other three, counterparts, they signed extensions, she did not. And that was, it's interesting, but it's also like, there's a lot of reasons why that could be. Yeah. But they are, they're coring her. So now that kind of piques my interest more. And based on your reporting, Callie, it seems like it really is up in the air whether or not Kelsey Plum may return to the Aces.
You see, the Las Vegas Aces have been the epitome of dominance in the WNBA, a powerhouse team built on star talent, relentless teamwork, and an unwavering drive to win. At the heart of this juggernaut is the dynamic duo of A'ja Wilson, the league's reigning MVP, and Kelsey Plum, an explosive guard who has been pivotal to the team's success. Yet, as free agency looms on the horizon, storm clouds are gathering over Las Vegas.
And just to know, again, the backstories of each individual on this team. And Kelsey Plum, just start with her as well. What can you say about her journey? And it goes down the line.
However, Kelsey Plum is currently stalling on signing a new contract extension, leaving fans and analysts speculating about her future with the team. Could this hesitation signal the end of her tenure with the Aces? And if Plum departs, what does it mean for A'ja Wilson, who could find herself surrounded by a diminished supporting cast? Especially with Kate Martin already gone, Plum's hesitation to extend her contract could leave A'ja Wilson in an unprecedented bind, threatening the Aces' future and opening the door for a seismic shift in the league's power structure.
Satou Sabally has been the name most often mentioned when it comes to WNBA free agency, I believe, up to this point, mainly because she came out and said she's leaving the Wings. So that puts it into the universe, right? That makes it pretty apparent that she's going to be available come the free agency period. But another name, or names that are interesting, are Kelsey.
Before Plum's potential exit became a pressing concern, the Aces already suffered a major loss with Kate Martin's departure. While not as high profile as Plum or Wilson, Martin was a critical piece of the Aces' depth and versatility. Her ability to contribute on both ends of the floor and provide stability during crucial moments made her an unsung hero in the Aces' rotation.
Right. Kate Martin, she was drafted by the Golden State Valkyries. And let me tell you, all the feelings came out when Kate was drafted there. Look, I think we have some of the quotes right here. Let's look. Oh, all of them at the same time. So for those of you who cannot see this, Chelsea Gray said, "Money Martin," just like statement, like, dang.
Martin's exit has already stretched the Aces roster thin, leaving fewer options to support Wilson and the team's championship aspirations. If Plum also walks away, the Aces would face a significant talent gap, forcing them to rebuild a backcourt that was once the envy of the league. To add fuel to the fire, Caitlin Clark, a generational talent on the brink of entering the league, is ready to seize this opportunity, shifting the balance of power and casting A'ja Wilson in an unfamiliar shadow. Clark's rise could mark the start of a new WNBA era, overtaking Wilson's reign.
You're acting like you put Caitlin Clark on this damn team and then she has to start.
No
one says she has to start. Mind you, even though I know she's better than Kelsey Plum right now. She's better than Kelsey Plum right now. She's better than Chelsea Gray right now. Put Caitlin Clark on the Aces squad. Put Kelsey Plum on the Indiana Fever.
The WNBA's free agency period is one of the most exciting yet unpredictable times in the basketball calendar. For a player of Plum's caliber, the market is wide open. teams across the league are undoubtedly watching this situation closely, ready to pounce at the first sign of her availability. Plum's skill set makes her a coveted asset for any franchise. Her scoring prowess, combined with her ability to distribute the ball and defend at a high level, makes her a player capable of transforming a team's fortunes. For Plum, the prospect of exploring free agency could be tempting. She could command a max contract and step into a situation where she is the undisputed leader, rather than sharing the spotlight with Wilson and other stars. Among the teams rumored to be potential suitors are franchises with cap space and a hunger for a championship-caliber player. The idea of Plum donning a different jersey next season is one that sends chills down the spines of Aces fans, and perhaps a warning to the rest of the league.
Other key free agent is Kelsey Plum, right? And Costabel's piece also speculated about her potential departure, as did ESPN's bold predictions for free agency. With so much discussion surrounding Plum's future, it's hard to ignore the possibility of her leaving the Las Vegas Aces.
Meanwhile, the dynamic guard, instrumental to the team's championship success, has not been immune to controversy, with many fans expressing outrage over how she was treated last season. Head coach Becky Hammon was seen yelling at Plum on multiple occasions from the sidelines, a display that didn't sit well with many supporters. For a player of Plum's caliber, fans argue, such treatment is not only unwarranted, but reflective of a lack of appreciation for her immense contributions. Nevertheless, the dissatisfaction among fans is palpable. Plum, a proven scorer and one of the league's brightest stars, has consistently poured her heart into the team. Her ability to perform under pressure and complement MVP A'ja Wilson has been pivotal to the Aces' dominance. Yet, the repeated public reprimands from Hammon left many questioning whether the Aces truly value what Plum brings to the court.
A'ja Wilson was trending for multiple days on Twitter as there was this video going around of an exchange between her and Kelsey Plum.
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, obviously. But, like, she understands her privilege and, like, what pushes her over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
This video received quite a bit of backlash online as it seemed like A'ja Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of
Kelsey Plum has been the heartbeat of the Aces, known for her versatility, competitive fire, and ability to deliver in clutch moments. Her partnership with A'ja Wilson has created a 1-2 punch that teams across the WNBA have struggled to counter. In the Aces championship season, Plum averaged 20.2 points and 5.1 assists per game, a testament to her offensive firepower and ability to orchestrate plays. But Plum's value goes beyond statistics. She's the type of player who makes everyone around her better, commanding attention on the perimeter and creating space for Wilson to dominate inside. Without Plum, the Aces risk becoming a more predictable team, placing the brunt of the responsibility on Wilson's shoulders.
I don't know if y'all know who Kelsey Plum is.
Yeah, I know.
Like, she went to Washington. She went to Washington when I was growing up. Bro, like, and me and my mom obviously would go to the games because they were real good. And so my mom would go as an alumni, bro. And she's dropping 40s, 50s. Like, it's nothing in college, bro. Yeah. And so I'm just like, at that age, I'm like.
Speaking of MVPs, A'ja Wilson is likely gearing up for another dominant season. But this time, the competition is fiercer than ever. Caitlin Clark, the electrifying guard from Iowa, is entering the WNBA fully rested and ready to make an immediate impact. Clark's offensive arsenal, highlighted by her deep shooting range and court vision, makes her a legitimate MVP contender even as a rookie. If Wilson hopes to retain her title as the league's best, she'll have to fend off a rising star hungry to make her mark. Adding to the intrigue is the Indiana Fever's potential move to sign Satou Sabally in free agency. Sabally, who recently announced she won't return to the Dallas Wings, could be the missing piece for a Fever team looking to climb the standings. Her all-around game and versatility could turn Indiana into a legitimate playoff contender, creating even more competition for Wilson and the Aces. While the Aces would undoubtedly feel the sting of her departure, the team's centerpiece remains A'ja Wilson, one of the most dominant players in the WNBA today. Yet, it seems that Wilson herself is feeling the pressure. Recent reports indicate that she has raised her speaking fees by an eye-popping $10,000 more than Caitlin Clark, a rising star from the University of Iowa and a current fan favorite. This move appears to be part of a broader strategy to solidify her position as the face of the league, or at least as one of its top superstars. While Wilson has earned her status on the court, this pricing move and her insistence on being seen as the league's alpha player may be a sign of panic, or at least a reaction to the growing popularity of players like Caitlin Clark, who has taken the women's basketball world by storm.
Speaking about this, and just like I told y'all, man, these women and like their obsession with hating on Caitlin Clark and wanting to one-up her is crazy, dog. Just crazy. It said A'ja Wilson will be likable if she wasn't insecure. Fans ridicule regaining WNBA MVP with fake news as Caitlin Clark 100K fee trends. Now,
the WNBA's branding efforts have certainly benefited from Clark's rising profile, but this also creates tension for the established stars, especially those like Wilson, who have been the face of their teams for years. Wilson's reaction, including raising her speaking fees, signals a desire to maintain her status as the most marketable and sought-after player in the league. However, whether this pricing adjustment will work in her favor is up for debate, especially as fans are increasingly enamored with the next generation of stars.
Caitlin Clark she was an absolute star during March Madness. The Iowa-UConn game was the top watched women's basketball game ever, 14.2 million viewers. And Caitlin Clark has brought a ton of attention to women's basketball, women's sports, and most recently was the #1 WNBA draft pick.
And there's another issue at play: ticket sales. The Aces are struggling with a growing narrative that may not be entirely in their favor. Recent ticket package offerings from rival teams have left out the Indiana Fever, often regarded as one of the most watched teams in the WNBA due to its dynamic young talent and the influence of Caitlin Clark. This move has sparked conversation about which teams are truly drawing the most attention and which players are capturing the imagination of fans. Despite their success on the court, the Aces are not the only team commanding attention. The Fever, with Clark leading the charge, seems to have captured the broader market, drawing a level of viewership that the Aces are now scrambling to compete with.
You can see every team part of these season ticket packages except for the Indiana Fever, because that is the hottest ticket in the game, the hottest ticket in the WNBA, the hottest ticket in women's sports right now. Going to an Indiana Fever game, going to watch the face of the league, going to watch the #1 American athlete, Caitlin Clark. That's the hottest ticket. That is the most expensive ticket.
So, where does this leave the Aces? The real question is not whether A'ja Wilson can step up and lead, but what happens if Kelsey Plum decides to leave. Without Plum's scoring ability, leadership, and versatility, the Aces may find themselves needing to reevaluate their roster, their approach to free agency, and even their broader strategy for remaining competitive in a league that is seeing new talent and rising stars. If Plum departs, the team could lose more than just a player. They might lose a crucial part of their identity, something they can't easily replace. In the midst of all this, the Aces must also contend with an ever-growing league. The WNBA is more popular than ever, but it's also becoming more competitive. With rising stars like Caitlin Clark becoming household names and the Fever potentially rising to the top, the Aces will need to recalibrate their approach. They can no longer rely solely on their existing stars to carry the team, nor can they expect fans to stay loyal when the competition is heating up.
I would personally say hands down Caitlin Clark is the best player to come through the WNBA. Hands down, not based on white privilege. I think based on her full athletic talent and the position that she's playing in the WNBA.
If Kelsey Plum leaves, the Aces will face a major crossroads. They will need to find a way to remain relevant both on the court and in the hearts of their fans. That may require new acquisitions, improved team chemistry, or perhaps even a shift in how the league markets its superstars. For the Aces, the future is uncertain, and how they navigate these challenges could determine whether they remain a dominant force in the WNBA or become a team in transition, searching for their next great identity. Plum's potential departure is more than just a loss for the Aces. It's a move that could reshape the WNBA's landscape. If Plum leaves, it sets off a chain reaction of events that could impact multiple teams. For the Aces, the focus would shift to finding a replacement or rebuilding their roster. They would likely explore trades or free agent signings to compensate for the loss. But finding a player of Plum's caliber is no easy task. Meanwhile, teams that sign Plum could instantly become title contenders, further complicating the Aces' path to success. Beyond the Aces, the league as a whole could see a power shift. A new contender emerging with Plum as their leader could disrupt the current balance, while Wilson's individual brilliance may no longer be enough to keep Las Vegas at the top. If Plum leaves and the Aces struggle, Wilson could find herself eclipsed by the young phenom. Clark has the potential to become the face of the league, and her impact on the court could tilt the balance of power away from Las Vegas.
There's been no player in my time of paying attention to women's basketball that has been more polarizing than Caitlin Clark. She was named Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year, which I think is well deserved for what she did in the college game and then bringing it to the WNBA.
The storyline writes itself. A struggling Wilson-led Aces team versus a Clark-led squad on the rise. It's the kind of drama that captivates audiences and fuels rivalries. For most fans of the Aces, the coming months will be nerve-wracking. Will Plum stay and help the team defend their title, or will she seek new opportunities elsewhere? And if she leaves, can Wilson carry the team on her own? Or will the rise of a new generation of stars, led by Clark, mark the beginning of a new era in the league? One thing is certain, the WNBA is entering a period of change, and the decisions made in the coming months will shape its future. As the drama unfolds, fans can only watch and wonder what lies ahead for Kelsey Plum, Aja Wilson, and the Las Vegas Aces. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.